I am Director of Business Development in the Deputy Mayor's Office for Planning and Economic Development. And it's a relatively new office, about 2.5 years old. Our mission is to help businesses in the district start, expand, and also relocate into DC. And we do that in several ways. We can provide information about incentives, which is what I will do for today, and with a couple of colleagues who I'm joined by. We'll be speaking a bit later about a couple other incentives beyond those that I'll talk about. We also work with our partners like the DC Economic Partnership to help businesses identify real estate solutions. The DC Tech Incentives Program, and this is a program that's been around because the technology sector is, many of us in the administration believe, maybe the best way of diversifying the district's economy right now. It's growing rapidly. It's grown over 50% in the last decade. About 23,000 people work in the technology sector here in DC right now. And we've seen tremendous growth with companies like Living Social that now have over 1,000 employees here in the district, up from 0 4 years ago. And it's one of the 10 largest private employers in the city. When I say diversify the economy, I'm saying diversifying beyond the hospitality and federal government sectors that have really been our anchor with professional services for a long time. So this is a by right program. And it's a very valuable program in that it's very easy to qualify for it. You seem to be a tech business, which is very broadly defined in legislation. It can be software, hardware, biotech. You need to have at least 2 employees in the city, and a physical location in the city. You don't have to have your headquarters here. But then the benefits are substantial. You get a reduction in corporate income tax from 9.975% down to 6%. And actually it goes down to 0 for 5 years in most cases. You get a 10-year abatement on personal property tax. That'd be on FF&E. And this is a benefit that a lot of the startups in the city have told us is quite valuable. There's no sales tax for software and hardware purchases in the district from day one. So if you go to the Apple store and buy some computers, you don't have to pay sales tax on that. There's also relocation and wage reimbursements for district employees or others that you hire. And if you don't have tax liability to pay that, to use that credit in a given year, you can carry forward for 10 years. So this is a powerful program. But in talking to Blake and many others, Blake will be talking a bit later, we've gotten a lot of feedback from the tech leaders in the city who've suggested that this program, as great as it is, could be better. So we have a bill before council right now that I wanted to let you guys know about, because this, I think, could be extremely helpful to those of you who are interested in the tech sector or perhaps work in the tech sector. This is under consideration by council, and if it passes, then these changes will go into effect on October 1. First of all, there right now is a high technology development zone, which is where you can get that 0% corporate income tax rate for 5 years. What we'd like to do is get rid of this gerrymandered area of the city, which it leaves out parts of each of the 8 wards, and make this a citywide program. So that'll, we think, simplify the program, make it more transparent, and we think more valuable to businesses in the city. The second piece is something that we've heard repeatedly, which is that there needs to be more of an angel community in the district, supporting tech businesses at the earlier stages when they need, say, $30,000, $100,000 well before they're going to be at a venture capital level. So we're very excited about this. What the bill proposes is that there be a capital gains tax rate be set at 3% for investments by district residents into tech companies, DC tech companies. Right now, as a point of reference, you're paying up to 9%, 8.95%. On capital gains, because it's just part of your personal income tax rate, for an investment made in a tech company. That means that the capital gains rate will be lower than Virginia and for Maryland in tech companies. And we think this is a powerful way to help our local tech companies get investment, and also a great way to encourage some of the first employees into tech companies who live in DC to stay here if they're going to be selling some of their equity position and having a windfall in a given year. And then finally, this is a bit of a tweak, but since I know there's some accountants in the room and some people who really care about this program, I want to mention this last point. We are going to tweak language in this bill. The bill does tweak the language for the program, so that once you qualify for the program, you will get a complete abatement on your franchise tax, not for the first 5 years after you apply to the program, but for your first 5 years of profitability. And for those of you who are with a startup, you know that you're usually in the red for the first couple of years, no matter how successful you might be. So we want to avoid people having to worry about timing, because people usually want to have that 5-year window, that 5-year period where it's a 0% corporate income tax liability be when they're going to be in the black so they can use it. So we want to make it totally easy to do that. This bill is called the Technology Enhancement Act of 2012. Jen Boss, back here, Jen, can you raise your hand real quick? She's our tech specialist. She's the first person in the mayor's office ever focused on the tech sector. If you're interested in this a bit more, interested in the technology sector, please come talk to her afterwards. We're always looking for feedback about this. I'm going to stop there. This is my information. Please feel free to contact me, and I've got several colleagues here who'll be happy to give you more information about these incentives. And thank you for all the work that you're doing to expand our local economy and hire residents. Appreciate it.